Evening, guys. Hey, I'm doing some work on the USACC build. So I got the 56 gasser done. Now I'm going to start on this USACC build. So just kind of go over some quick stuff and what I got planned for this thing and where I'm at currently. So what I've done is I put in the front piece here. There's some, if you look, let me pull this off. If you look in here, you'll see some significant gaps in there. You got to fill those in. So I'll be working on that. A lot of the guys have complained about the hood and how it fits. And I've got two kits. And the first one I bought, it was horrible. And beyond, like, I think it was like warped. This one's okay. There, as you can see, there's a pretty significant gap over here. And not over here. Well, I guess there is. But it fits much better than the other one did. Much better. So we're gonna do the old flipperoo on it, because it's too easy to do. And I've seen other people do it, like Fred Henry. There's no reason not to do that, you know, and flip it this way. In my opinion, if you're building like a pro touring kind of thing, which I am, there's really, to me, there's no reason not to do it this way. A lot of these trucks, when they were actually made, the hood actually didn't come up, but maybe like that tall. And you would see a lot of guys bending way down in here working on the engine, and they complain about their back hurting. Well, that's why. I mean, you're down in there. So I wanted to drop it down. But I didn't want to spend a lot of time on it. So I did it the easier way. It's less work, which is taking the independent rear suspension that comes with the kit, spreading these little bars out. So you can see this hole right here. That's where it's supposed to go. Well, I spread the bars out. Again, this is from Fred Henry. I'm going to post his video in the description of this video, and you can go to his video and learn these tricks. But just spread these bars out and make sure you're putting them. I made very, very sure that I put them in the exact same spot. You can see I lined them up, and I wanted the distance from here to be about the same. So I was very cautious about how it lined up. Now, is it realistic? No, because you're right on the frame rail. I mean, talk about a hardtail. I mean, that's, you wouldn't typically do that, but for purposes of making a build and basically getting it as low as you can get it, this is a really good way to do it. The front, I just used a regular front. A lot of guys have said, well, why does it come with a K-member? Because back in the 80s, that's what everybody used. Would it have been easier to do a Mustang 2 front suspension? Yeah, it would have. Because you would have had your independent front suspension and all that stuff instead of this stupid K-member. The way it was designed, I'm moving all over the place, sorry. It had a piece that went up this way and stopped about right here, and then it had an axle coming out. So I just cut that piece off, and again, this comes straight from Fred Henry, how he did it, and basically put in a piece of stock in here. I'll show you what I used in a second, but I did it on both sides. And when I get my wheels in, I'll get a rod that fits the size of the female side going into the wheel, and I'll pick my height at that point. For the bed, I've got the bed mocked up here. I've made some cuts in the bed You have to do that, and I'll show you why here in a second. But what I did for this, just to make these cuts, I'm showing you the wrong piece. What I did to make cuts, now typically this bed comes with a straight piece all the way over here, just like that. And then it's got these little spots that basically fit in to the bed sides like this. So it fits in like that. Well, I wanted to maintain that. So what I basically did, if I can get it to focus, I'm all over the place. Sorry, guys. Not a very good video, Terry. Is I cut right along the same angle with these sides just to maintain that, so I didn't lose that, so the bed can fit on there like it's supposed to. Did that on both sides, and the reason you got to do that right away is it will not fit, because I've lowered this, and now these little square pieces right here for the rear axle is going to interfere. So you have to cut those off so you can get a feel for where you're landing on your rear axle, so you can basically cut out your wheel tubs. And you will have to cut them out. It's not very much, but you will have to cut them out. And I've marked where the frame rail lands on the inside. So it's not a lot. Maybe like a 1/2 of an inch. But it is necessary. So by the time you put this in here, you'll have these cutouts for your wide wheels, and it'll be just fine. So my plan is to change the engine. So I'm going to change the engine to the Coyote Gen 2. And the reason I picked the Gen 2 is I like that cover on there, because I want this truck to look like you can drive it. And I just like the cover in there. So when you open up the hood and you match this cover to the paint that you're going to paint the vehicle, I think that'll stand out quite a bit. So that's the plan on that. Good old Iceman. He makes some really good stuff now. Iceman is a really good at what he does. And then I reached out to Mr. Dillon over at NYS Modeling, and I noticed that he had printed or got a file or something of some grills. So I asked him if I could have a certain one, and this dude sent me like a ton of stuff. He sent me seats. He sent me a grill for a GMC. He sent me all kinds of stuff. I'm probably going to use these seats on this build. But the grills, I just like the definition, and they're just way more crisp than what comes in the kit. I'm probably going to use this bottom one because it fits what I have planned for the truck. And I think that's it. That's where I'm at. So just keep plugging away. I don't really think this is going to be that extensive of a build. It's a really cool kit. And I think it's cool in one respect, and that is you can build this thing quickly because it's a simple kit. The 124 scale, a lot of people are complaining about that, but heck, I grew up on 124 scale. That's what I built. So you can do a lot with 124th. The biggest thing with 124 scale, in my opinion, is the wheels. You got to get the wheels right. And how they look in the fender well is important. A lot of times if you take a wheel that's 125th scale and you put it on a 124 scale, the wheel looks like it's like a training wheel, like it's tiny. So the size of the wheel that I am picking, let me put you guys down for a second. is this size. And when you get it in the wheel well, if I can, let me see, let me put my right hand on that. To me, that looks pretty good. Whereas the smaller wheels take up less room in that wheel well. It's big. It's key in this wheel well to get it as much occupied as possible because of this big front swoop on that front fender. This little area right here. I really hate that part of the vehicle, and you could really spend some time and cut that out and all that stuff, but I want the vehicle to stand out for what it is. So, all right, guys, that's it for me today. I hope you guys enjoy the USACC build. It's a really cool kit, and I think we can do a lot with it. Be interested to see. I watched a bunch of videos already. I can't wait to see what everybody turns out. So, everybody have a nice night. Enjoy your week. Terry, I'm out.